Sekretaris Utama Perdana Menteri Darren menyatakan bahwa Keir Starmer bertanggung jawab atas penunjukan Peter Mandelson sebagai Duta Besar AS, sementara anggota Parlemen Konservatif mengkritik PM karena menghindari pengawasan atas keputusannya. Pengungkapan baru dari Mandelson Viles mengungkap risiko potensial yang terkait dengan penunjukan tersebut, terutama hubungannya dengan mantan pengusaha keuangan yang tercela Jeffrey Epstein.
Have asked us not to do so yet, in order to avoid prejudicing their ongoing criminal investigation into Peter Mandelson. We have agreed to that request. We will therefore publish these documents in the future as soon as the Metropolitan Police have confirmed it will no longer prejudice their investigation. The government must, as the House already understands, also carefully assess the risk of prejudicing UK national security or international relations posed by the release of any official documents. Any such material will and is being referred to the Intelligence and Security Committee of this House. I thank the committee for their assistance in this matter and can confirm to the House that the committee has agreed with a limited redaction requested by the government in relation to one document that we are publishing today. Peter Mandelson should never have been afforded the privilege of representing this country. And I reiterate for the House that the Prime Minister deeply regrets taking him at his word. It was a mistake to do so. I'm sure that right honourable and honourable members across the House will also read in these documents with interest how Peter Mandelson conducted himself after his withdrawal as ambassador. As the documents show, regarding his severance payment, Peter Mandelson initially requested a sum that was substantially larger than the final payment. Not just 2 or even 3 times, but more than 6 times the final amount, despite the fact that he was withdrawn from Washington because he had lost the confidence of the Prime Minister. The government obviously found that to be inappropriate and unacceptable. The settlement that was agreed was to avoid even higher further costs involving a drawn-out legal claim at the Employment Tribunal, given Peter Mandelson's employment as a civil servant rather than a minister. Further work is ongoing to compile the rest of the information that is in its scope. The government recognises the urgency with which this work must be completed, and the government will of course keep members updated as that work progresses. But we know that these documents also reveal that the due diligence process fell short of what is required. We have already taken steps to address weaknesses in the system and to ensure that when standards of behaviour fall short of the high standards expected, that there will be more serious consequences.
I do respect the Chief Secretary coming and doing this himself, but it really ought to be the Prime Minister sitting there, because all of this is about the Prime Minister's judgment. And so it's very convenient that this document was published after Prime Minister's questions today, when the man who made the decision, the man whose judgment is in question, could have been put under scrutiny by honourable members. At the centre of this scandal was a very rich and powerful man who despicably abused his position, and he was helped to become rich and powerful by his associates. One of those associates was Peter Mandelson. So while, of course, I associate myself with the remarks made by the Chief Secretary about Epstein's victims, it's very clear that those victims were not in the Prime Minister's mind when he appointed Peter Mandelson. The Prime Minister has already admitted that he knew Mandelson had maintained his friendship with Epstein even after the latter's conviction for his terrible crimes. That was a bad choice, and it's a choice that we can now read about in black and white, Madam Deputy Speaker, on page 11, where the Prime Minister was told after Epstein was first convicted of procuring an underage girl in 2008, their relationship continued across 2009 to 2011, beginning when Lord Mandelson was business minister and continuing after the end of the Labour government. Mandelson reportedly stayed in Epstein's house while he was in jail in 2009. Now, the Prime Minister claims that he was lied to. He wasn't lied to by this due diligence document. And it may be that Mandelson denied these claims. And if so, maybe the Prime Minister was lied to. But he was lied to by an inveterate liar who had been fired twice before. And we're supposed to believe, Madam Deputy Speaker, that the Prime Minister, who was once the chief prosecutor in this country, couldn't see through this nonsense. It beggars belief.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download MetroTV Extend sekarang.